Happy Thursday, everybody! Holy crap, we had a good day. Finally, statistics said it was going to happen eventually. A couple of weird games, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. We've got an 11-game slate today. It's an interesting slate. We've got some new games starting, some finale games, so should be a fun little day. Hey, we went up 3.5 units yesterday. Let's go. Chicago, Pittsburgh, over 8. You could have doubled that and we'd still hit this. That cashed in the second inning. And what a game it was. Can we just talk about the Cubbies? I mean, just kind of watch my video yesterday. Exactly what I said. As long as we can get, within striking distance in the last 3 innings. Now, I didn't think striking distance meant 7 runs, but they did exactly what we thought they would. I think I even said, I'm not worried if it gets to Bednard, he's going to give up runs. Oh, and he did. He gave up so many runs. It was beautiful. Cubbies end up making a miracle comeback. Now, that said, at that same time, the Royals were in a commanding 5-1 lead heading into the 7th, the bottom of the 7th, and they blew it. Might have been 5-2. Either way, they absolutely blew it. That should have been a W. We should have swept the straights. That was really disappointing. I was kind of counting that one a little too early. Houston first 5 team total over 2.5. I mean, Tyjon Walker, he's the gift that keeps on giving. He gives up runs. The Phillies just basically took $70 million and just burned it when they gave it to that guy. So bad deal there. Athletics first 5. I mean, you saw on. I was like, I don't understand what's going on with this line. Like, I was confused. That was pretty sweat free. I think it was like 1-2-0. So then they ended up giving up 6 runs in the 7th, I think, and then they ended up coming back to win. So I was really hoping the Athletics would win yesterday because we want to bet the Reds today. So worked out really well. Atlanta first 5 was a cash. Padres, the Padres just do the opposite of what I want them to do. That's pretty much what it comes down to. They had 2 runs in the first inning, didn't score again till the 8th. They got 1, and then it was tied 3-3. Top of the 9th, they had a leadoff double, and then got the guy over to third, 1 out, and then they go back-to-back strikeouts in the 3 and 4 hole. What the hell? And then, bottom of the 9th, they get 2 outs. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll win it in extras. Not a big deal. Guy gets a single. All right, well, it's just 1 single. Then another dude gets a single. I'm like, all right, that's not good. And then Arenado gets another single. So they go back-to-back-to-back singles to walk it off. GG. Wow. So, is what it is there. Milwaukee got the job done for us. Yankees, come on, dude. God. Rodon, whatever, however you say his name, get the fuck out of the majors is kind of how I feel about him right now. But yeah, Yankees struggled against the lefty bats, so something we'll have to keep in mind. Obviously, we talked about the Royals losing. The Blue Jays ended up losing 1-0, or no, it was 3-0. Really was 1-0 heading into the bottom of the 8th. Bello pitched like a career best game. He went 8 innings and gave up 2 hits. What the hell was that? And then the Rays ended up getting smacked around a little bit. It ended up being like 6-2. They were up 1-0 early, and then it was 1-1. It is what it is. Props, we went 3 and 4. Teoscar Hernandez hit. De La Cruz hit. Jacques Peterson hit a home run to crush the over 1.5 total bases. Nerfies, we went 1 and 3, so not a great day there on the prop side, but is what it is. Tracking wise, like I said, 3.5 units up. Man, we needed that. So puts us back up in the green over the past 2 months, and we'll go through some August tracking numbers. I do have them all tracked out. Yeah, hot and cold. The only thing that really stood out was Sonny Gray. I want to make sure I kind of give you guys the full spiel. So let's see. Schwarber, Harper, and Bohm are very hot against Charlie Morton, batting .300, .423, and .444 respectively. Decent amount of plate appearances too. They've got about 20 plus plate appearances. Manny Machado's 11 for 30 off Sonny Gray with 2 home runs. Let's see. George Springer's pretty hot off Cutter Crawford, 4 for 10. Not a ton of experience there. Trey Turner, Castellanos, and Marsh are a little cold against Charlie Morton. About 17 plate appearances apiece, all batting sub 200 there. Yordan Alvarez is cold against Brady Singer, only going 2 for 12 with 1 home run after a 3 home run night yesterday. Thank you for that, buddy. That was huge. And then cold pitcher matchup, Sonny Gray giving up a 361 average to this Padres lineup. They're 22 for 61 off of him with 3 home runs and 8 extra base hits. So kind of does correlate into my thoughts today. All right, first game of the card, Angels and the Tigers. Jack Kochanderwich, I can't get his name right ever, going up against Keter Montero. Montero's been a little sporadic, man, but lately he's been trending in a great direction. He's only given up 6 earned runs in his last 3 games. He gave up 2 to the White Sox, 0 to the Yankees, 4 to the Giants. We look at Kochanowicz. He's been pitching pretty well, too. He's only given up 7 earned runs in the last 3 games. That was against Toronto, Atlanta, and Washington. 6.11 away ERA. I like the Tigers today. I think the Tigers get the job done. I do think there's runs. I don't know if I want to touch the over-under. But it's kind of hard to fade this Tigers offense right now. They have been scoring a ton of runs. And if we look at Kochanowicz, might not have been giving up the runs, but he's still giving up a 338 opponent average. Lefties are hitting 366 off of him. Righters are hitting 316. Whereas Keter Montero, about a 239 average to lefties, 282 to righties. Hard hit percentage for Kochanowicz is through the roof. It's almost 50%. Exit velo's at almost 93, whereas Keter's slightly above in the hard hit at almost 40% and slightly above in exit velo. So really, we've got the better pitcher on the mound statistically. We definitely have the better offense on the mound. So I would go Detroit here. It is getaway day, though, so be a little sketchy, but man, Angels have really sucked lately. All right, Rangers, the White Sox. This one's real easy, guys. Not going to spend a ton of time on this. It is a White Sox bullpen game. It's like the greatest day ever. This is a 6.11 ERA. This is a real bad bullpen. So you're giving me a bullpen game going up against Eovaldi. Eovaldi's not been lights out. But against bottom 10 teams, he has been lights out. So I think he absolutely just destroys them. If we look at Nastrini, 5 earned runs last 2 games. That's like 8.1 innings combined. Nothing special. This should be a Rangers win. I like Rangers run line. It's juiced to minus 142, but I actually think there is some value there. All right, next game, Giants and the Brewers. Hayden Birdsong. I don't know. I was trying something there. Going up against Aaron Savali. Birdsong's look pretty good. That said, 4.78 away ERA. He has had some blow-ups, but last 2 games look really good. 1 earned run in his last 2 against Seattle and Oakland. Obviously, you got to know who you're facing. Brewers are a little bit of a different story, but if we do look at the previous 2 to that, he had given up 12 earned runs. So really kind of the first time he had gotten shelled, and it was against the Tigers and the Nats. I like him today. I think this is a pretty good pitcher. Aaron Savali is a complete fade to me. I know he's only given up 10 earned runs in his last 4 games, but this guy's a fade. I just think he throws absolute meatballs. Giants are technically hitting righties better than the Brewers. Birdsong splits look pretty good. If you look at Savali, he's basically given up 260, 270. So 260 to lefties, 270 to righties. Doesn't give up a lot of hard contact. His hard hit percentage is about 39%. Birdsong's a little higher, 46%. So could they hit some home runs today? Yeah. I would say based on these contact numbers, you would expect this over-under to be 9. So it's kind of odd, right? So I think the bookmakers are thinking Savali gets out of this fairly sweat-free. I don't think so. I mean, the splits are okay for him. They're technically worse for Birdsong. But this is just kind of that zigzag effect. We saw the Brewers win last night. I think the Giants come back and win today. All right, next game, Padres at the Cards. This line shifted. I think the Padres are like minus 115 to minus 105 now. Michael King, definitely one of those guys. He's been better away than he has at home. Gray is the opposite. I mean, he's just not been good anywhere really lately. If we look at King, his last 3 away starts, he's only given up 3 earned runs. Those are coincidentally his last 3 starts have all been away. If we look at Sonny Gray, 9 earned runs in his last 3 home starts, 15 earned runs in his last 4 starts. So Sonny Gray just hasn't had a good year. Pitch splits look really bad. We have not seen this Padres offense really kind of open up a can of whoop ass yet. I'm really hoping it's today. It should be today. If we look at the batting splits over the last 14, last 7 days, Padres are crushing it. 280, 311. It's a really good spot for them. Sonny Gray's been really good against right-handed hitters, a little weaker to the left-handed side. So that works in his favor as most of the power for the Padres is from the right-handed side. But obviously, last night we saw them hit with runners in scoring position because they got 3 straight hits, but overall the Cardinals really haven't been hitting a lot with runners in scoring position. But they have a little bit in this series. But man, it is just really hard to believe that the Padres just go out without a fight offensively. This series has just not been kind of Padres baseball, we'll call it. So I really look for them to bounce back against Sonny Gray. That said, the Cardinals really need to win this game. All right, next game, Marlins at the Wait. Yeah, that's right. Marlins at Rockies. I don't know why I'm struggling with that past 2 days. Anyway, Valente Belazo going up against Bradley Blaylock. This Blaylock guy has been solid. 6 earned runs in the last 3 games. And he's faced the Yankees, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. Like, damn. That's pretty tough. If we look at Belazo, almost a 6 away ERA. Belazo had 5 earned runs in his last start at home versus the Cubs. He got absolutely smacked around, and he's given up 9 earned runs in his last 5 games. First start in Coors Field. I don't think this is going to go well, but the wind is blowing in. So the wind's blowing in, and we're still getting an 11.5 line. That's pretty crazy. Give me the Rockies here. I like Blaylock to get the job done. Now, I will caveat that by saying it is getaway day. The Marlins are ferocious beasts on getaway day who transform into World Series champions. So keep that in mind, but I can't really back Belazo in this situation. Just can't. Marlins haven't looked fantastic during this series. They had 1 good inning in the top of the 9th to win one of the games. Other than that, they have not looked good. All right, Peterson, Nelson, Mets, D-backs. We were on the D-backs last night. They got the job done for us on the back of a Corbin Carroll grand slam. That was beautiful. This game was looking pretty good. They were up 4-0 early, and then they gave up 4 in the 5th, I believe. Peterson going up against Nelson. I got to back Nelson. We've been on I'm sorry. I don't want to back Nelson. I want to back Peterson. We're backing David Peterson. So the lefty's been on a tear. That said, a little scary. If we look at the splits, we know the D-backs can crush some lefty pitchers. But Ryan Nelson, to me, is he's a bit of a fade. He's pitched really, really well over his last 4 games. But I'm just thinking back to maybe the old Ryan Nelson at home would get shellacked all around the yard. So, again, just more of that zigzag effect. 2 pretty good teams. I think the Mets get the job done today. I think Peterson is serviceable today. The over-under is at 8.5. I kind of went back and forth on that, but I really do think Peterson has a good day. So I don't really want to necessarily touch that. Yeah, Mets for me in this game. All right, next game, Athletics and the Reds. Julian Aguilar. Been pretty good. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his first 2 starts. Now, that said, it was against the Pirates and the Blue Jays. This will technically be his first home start at GABP. We're going to have the wind blowing out a little bit. Going to be a very warm, going to be a hot, humid day, so we could see the ball flying a little bit. Am I scared that this guy's 64% of his outs will come through the fly ball? Yeah. That's not good. You don't want balls in the air at GABP. Those are home runs, a lot of them. That said, it's a bullpen day for the A's. I gotta go Reds. I'm gonna go Reds. I like that they've lost 3 in a row. They're due for a win. It's the Oakland Athletics. Pretty damn good spot for a bounce back win. This Aguilar guy's been pretty good. I don't like that his expected ERA is 9.2. That scares the shit out of me. So we'll have to see. I think you can make a case for the A's for sure, but A's bullpen doesn't really scare me. It's kind of like the opposite of the Reds yesterday. Reds had their bullpen day, got smacked around. Should see the Reds revert back and get the win today. All right, Braves and Phillies. This is a fun series. Damn. This is going to be a really fun series. If we look, we've got Christopher Sanchez going up against Charlie Morton. So these teams, obviously, this is a divisional opponent. They've already played 9 games. The Braves are 6-3 against them. However, this is kind of the rubber series here. So we've had 2 series in Atlanta. This will be the second series in Philly. So at home, the Phillies in this series are 2-1. Charlie Morton almost a 5 ERA. Sanchez has a really good home ERA. If we look at Morton, he's pitched really well. Last 3 games, he's only given up 5 earned runs against the Nats, the Angels, and the Giants. But he's already faced Philly 3 times, has not faced them this year, but gave up 12 earned runs in 3 games. So they do have some history there. He's just kind of a juicy righty for them. I don't know. It's kind of like throwing meat into the lion's den. Phillies are coming off getting smoked yesterday. I mean, that's kind of how you want them. You want them. They got shut out yesterday. Divisional opponent, huge game. I like it. I like the Phillies a lot in this spot. Minus 155 is really juice, though. I honestly thought this was going to be like minus 125. Sanchez isn't lights out. He did just face this team like a week ago. Gave up 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 Ks. He got out of a crap ton of jams. That 3 earned runs could have easily been 6. So I don't love Sanchez, but I love the spot the Phillies are in. Do I think they get shut out? No, not against Charlie Morton. I think we should see a little fire out of this Phillies team. So I like him in this spot. Pitch splits, Morton 277 against righties, 220 against lefties. Really, Sanchez almost the same splits, a little worse against lefties at 231, but also 270 against righties. Morton's hard hit percentage is almost 40%. Sanchez is about 34%. So do with that what you will. Pitch splits are, I would say, fairly even. So this should just be an absolute beautiful game. 8.5? No. Give me the over all day. Can't be. There's going to be runs. All right, Blue Jays, Red Sox. Bowden Francis going up against Cutter Crawford. Francis has been on fire lately. 4 earned runs in his last 4 games. That was against the Angels, the Cubs, the Angels, and the Orioles. Almost threw a damn no-hitter. He went into the 9th, didn't get the no-no. If we look at Cutter Crawford, we had talked about in his previous starts how he'd given up just so many runs, like 20-some runs in 5 games. It was pretty bad. That said, he's kind of righted the ship a little bit, so only 5 earned runs in his last 2 games, and he'd given up 15 in the previous 3. So we're definitely seeing some progression from him. I do think at home he has a pretty decent day. That said, pitch splits are okay, but the pitch splits for Bowden Francis are not good. So we got to remember, the Red Sox are still one of the top right-handed hitting teams in baseball. They've kind of regressed over the past week or so, but prior to that, they were like 1-2. D-backs and Red Sox were kind of right there at 1-2. Bowden Francis, 207 average to lefties, 260 to righties. Doesn't give up a ton of hard hit. But Crawford's actually a little bit better. He's very good in the hard hit percentage. Only, a little under 37%. And his splits look good. 212 to lefties, 228 to righties. So everything kind of says this should be a Red Sox win. Obviously, we know they're in a very heated wild card race, so they literally need to win every single game. So a little more meaningful to them, and it's getaway day. So give me the Red Sox here. All right, Royals, Astros. This will be a fun little series. Hunter Brown going up against Brady Singer. If we look at Singer, he's got a 4.04 away ERA. Why do I keep forgetting to put the home ERAs? I don't know. Brown's pitched pretty good at home. If we look at Singer, he's given up 15 earned runs in his last 4 starts, so that's not good. But we look at who he's faced. He's faced Philly. They love righties. Cincy, they love righties that throw fastballs. Minnesota loves righties that throw fastballs. Boston loves righties. So it's a very tough 4-game stretch there. So I wouldn't necessarily invest a ton into that. If we look at Hunter Brown, he did face this Royals team in April. Did not go well. Didn't make it out of the first inning. Gave up 9 earned runs. Does that mean he's going to do that today? Probably not. He kind of started out the season very rough and has really turned this season into a very positive season where he's pitched extremely well. So he's only given up 6 earned runs over his last 4 starts, and that was against the Orioles, the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Rangers. So I like him today, but man, the Royals have been crushing right-handed pitching. You throw a righty in front of them that predominantly throws a fastball, has not gone well for the other team. So I really like the Royals to get the job done. It's kind of the opposite. We saw the Astros come off that 10-0 win yesterday. It's against Taijuan Walker. We got to remember the who. And the Phillies bullpen ain't exactly locked down. And they didn't throw their main guys. They saved them for the Braves. So the fact that the Astros scored a ton of runs doesn't surprise me, right? The Phillies knew they had a very important series coming up. So, yeah, I think it's a Royals day to me, man. Again, it's very similar to the Cleveland. You're just giving me too much value on a team that is very good, right? It's just will they hit? And the numbers lately said, yeah, they'll hit. If we look at the splits for Hunter Brown, it's not really crazy different than Singer. Singer giving up a 289 average to lefties, sub 2 to righties, and then Brown's kind of the opposite, 222 to lefties, 293 to righties. I like a lot of the righty bats in this Royals lineup. So, yeah, just to me, this is it's a Royals lean. All right, got another upset alert. Orioles, Dodgers, Cade Povich, Bobby Miller. Miller did not look real good. In his last 2 starts, I have not liked the way he's looked. He got rocked early by Tampa, and then the Cardinals hit him hard early. I just not loving what I'm seeing out of this guy. So, that said, Povich, nothing real special there either. So Povich in his last start versus Houston, 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 Ks. But Dodgers are struggling against left-handed pitching. They just are. We saw that with Cole Irvin. They should have mopped him all around the yard, and they struggled against him. So I think we might see something similar. The only thing I will say about that game is the Dodgers did sit Gavin Lux and Freddie Freeman. Had we known that, might not have played them, but we didn't know that. So could we see somebody else sit here? Potentially. Dodgers aren't really in a spot where this game is necessarily meaningful. Bobby Miller just hasn't looked great. 7 earned runs over his last 2 games, like I said, but it probably should have been more. That wasn't against very potent offenses. So I think against the Orioles, they could really pounce, and it's getaway day. So, yeah, I would just say there's a lot of value to take the Orioles at plus 136. Very good team. Haven't really hit right-handed pitching a ton lately, but this guy's given up a 3.16 average. He's got an expected ERA of 6.72. His splits are terrible. He's given up a 3.17 average to lefties, 3.15 to righties, 45% hard hit percentage, 92 exit velo. It's just like, holy crap. And his pitch splits are pretty bad. So, yeah, give me the Orioles. There's just, like I said, way too much value in that spot. All right, so those are all of the games. Let's get into the pitching sheet. I didn't have time, again, to get through all this. I will go through this today and post this on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. So link is down below in the description if you want to follow me there. I will go through and complete this, fill it out, and then post it on there for everybody for free. All right, best bets for today. Something flew in my eye. Oh, my God. All right, Giants team total over 3.5. We're just fading Aaron Savali. Brewers had to use some arms yesterday to lock that down after the Giants made a run. Padres money line, just fading Sonny Gray, really. It just hasn't been great at home. King's been good away. And I think the Padres, like I said, open up a little can of offense today. Miami, Colorado, under 11.5. I like this Blaylock guy. Palazzo's okay. He's going to give up some runs, but with the wind blowing in and 12 runs, I'll take my chances. Atlanta, Philly over 8.5. I think either Sanchez, Morton, or both get rocked. So 8.5 against the way these offenses have been rolling. Aside from yesterday, I think both teams, somebody's going to come out and score like 6 or 7 today. That's just a gut feeling. And then give me Mets race to 3. So basically, we're saying Peterson's going to have a pretty good first 5 or 6 innings and hope the Mets can get us 3 pretty early against Nelson. And then give me the Rockies a first 5 minus a half at minus 120. So really just backing Blaylock. I mean, the fact that I have 2 Rockies bets in one slip, a little scary. Not going to lie. I'm just going to embrace it. And I know it's Marlins getaway day and they're World Series champs on those days, but not today. Not today, my friends. All right, parlays we're going with today. Rangers run line, Giants team total over 2.5, so that's an alt line. And then we're going to go Reds money line. Pair those together, plus 322. And then we're just going to take a pretty square money line play of the Phillies, the Tigers, and the Red Sox at plus 353. Fun parlay, Rangers, Tigers, Padres, Reds, Red Sox. Pair those bad boys together, you get plus 1,173. And our upset parlay of the day, it's a banger. It's a big banger. Giants, Mets, Orioles, Royals. Woo! Plus 2,246. That'd be cool. All right, and then you can see the props I like. I will tell you we're going to what did I just say? I don't remember. Anyway, we're going to do some more props in the future, but we're going to look at some different markets and things like that. Switch it up a little bit. Nerfies. We got slayed. I mean, the Nerfie market just sucks, man. I hate doing Nerfies. I think, let's see, what did we go? 1-3 on the yesterday. So for the season, we're like 55 and 67 on Nerfies. Which really sucks. Not good. After a very, very hot start. Nerfies I like, though. KC, Houston, San Diego, St. Louis. Only 2 Nerfies I like on the card today. That is going to do it for me. We're at the 27-minute mark. Wow. So, like I said, like the video, subscribe. Thank you to everybody that commented yesterday. You guys are awesome. We had a lot of comments. Channel's growing. There is a college football video out as well if you like that. It's just going to cover the Thursday games today. So I'll catch you guys next video.